Hello, writers. We're about to start our new unit, which is informational speaking and writing. Before we get into lesson 1, I would like to give you an overview of the unit and how we are going to approach it. Have you ever had someone give you information and you thought, what are they talking about? Why are they telling me? And why should I care? When information is presented in a confusing way, we tune out. When information doesn't seem relevant to us, we tune out. When information is too difficult to understand, you guessed it, we tune out. So, how do you present information to an audience and get them to tune in? Our next unit is on informative speaking and writing, and it is going to teach you how to do just that. So let's take a look at the nuts and bolts of the unit. Hello, writers. I just want to go over the nuts and bolts of our informative unit with you. This document will be linked in Google Classroom, and I want you to really understand what we're going to be doing over the next month and a half or so. Our unit has 2 parts. Part 1 is to develop an informative speech comparing and contrasting 2 young adults who are making a difference. Part 2 is to use your speech outline to write an informative paper using the compare and contrast text structure. It will include text features such as photos, captions, bold words, and content-specific vocabulary. Informative speaking is a powerful and important tool. When done well, information can provide a new perspective or increase our knowledge around a topic. The purpose of our 6th grade informative speech is to raise awareness about young people who are making a difference. Your job is to deliver a speech that grabs the attention of your audience, convinces the audience that the information you are sharing is important and is important for them to know. Presents the information in a clear way using a compare-contrast structure. You will deliver it in a manner that your audience is tuned in and learns new information from you. So we are going to use a 4-step approach to this whole project. Step 1, we will do the first speech together as a class. I will model every step. We will deliver a speech via WeVideo on the same 2 young people who are making a difference. Step 2 is you will select 2 different young people who are making a difference from our bookcase, and you'll see that posted in Google Classroom, and create an informative speech. You will do every step independently. You will have the choice of delivering in person if we are back into a hybrid model, which probably will not happen before January, or using WeVideo. Step 3, we will use the outline from our speech to create a compare and contrast paper. We will add nonfiction text features and content-specific vocabulary. I will model every step of this. Step 4, you will use your outline from your speech to create a compare and contrast paper. You will add nonfiction text features and content-specific vocabulary. So that is the nuts and bolts of our informative unit, and please make sure you ask questions if you have any. All right, the first thing I want you to do is go into Google Classroom and open up your copy of Digital Notebook number 3. If you're using a paper notebook, you can still take a look at the digital notebook just to see how we're going to organize our notes. Then we'll go into lesson 1 and we will take notes about what is informative speaking, and then you'll take 3 notes about what all great informative speeches should have. Find this slide presentation in Google Classroom, and you will use it to take your notes. You've seen the introduction. So your first page of your notebook is asking you what is informative speaking. These are the notes I want you to copy. At a basic level, an informative speech delivers knowledge. The presenter becomes an expert and shares knowledge with others. Once you've done that, the next page has 3 circles asking you what Every informative speech must have three things, and you only have to write those three headings: accurate, clear organizational structure, and interesting. If you want to take a few more notes, you may, but you are not required to. Informative speeches must be accurate. Even though you are not arguing a side, when you are sharing information, information sharing is not neutral. You must consider how your communication represents others. Make sure you are accurate. It must have a clear organizational structure. We will be comparing and contrasting two young adults who are making a difference. Our speech will have an introduction, inform the audience how they are alike, inform the audience how they are unique, and have a conclusion. And your speech must be interesting. Remember, you want your audience to tune in. If you care about your topic, your audience will care. Avoid slang words or overly complicated terms that your audience doesn't know. I want to talk a little bit about close reading. Because you will be gathering information for both an informative speech and informative paper or essay, you need to be informed. You need to learn and really understand something. So, when we get to the next part of today's lesson, we are going to be looking at Chandra Starr and Shubham Banerjee again. You were introduced to them for the on-demand writing assignment. And then your Wednesday work was to learn a little bit more about them. And today we're actually going to read again for the purpose of taking notes, because we want to really understand and we want to be able to share our understanding with others.